Hello everyone, welcome back to my astrology channel. Now before I start today's video, I just want to thank everyone, all of you who have watched my videos, commented, subscribed. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all your contribution. And for those who have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do, because it helps to grow my channel. So thank you again to everyone. Now in today's video, I want to discuss the lunar nodes, the nodal return and the reverse nodal return. The nodal return is when the transit north node and south node are conjunct the natal north node and south node. So nodal return is when the nodes return to the same sign, degree and house which you had in your birth, which you have in your birth chart and time of your birth. So that's called the nodal return. Now reverse nodal return is obviously the opposition to your natal placement. So in reverse, it's the north node conjuncts the natal south node and the transit south node conjuncts the natal north node. So it's the other way around. So it's the opposite. Now I will also be discussing the nodal square. So when you have the transiting nodes squaring your natal nodes. So all these three transits I'll be discussing in today's video. So first up, let's just revisit what the lunar nodes mean. Now there is north node and south node in your chart. Now these are mathematical points in the sky. It's not physical objects. So the way the energy of lunar nodes manifest is more on the subconscious level, more on emotional level. It's not physical, tangible energy like planets and fixed stars and the stars and all that. So it's more to do with your karmic lessons, karmic path, karmic patterns, your soul purpose, your soul growth and all that. So lunar nodes aligns you with your soul purpose basically. So in order to understand what your lessons are in this lifetime, you look to the lunar nodes and their energies and wherever they are in your chart. Now I will emphasize more on the nodal house placement more than the sign placement. So look at your chart and see which houses the nodes are in, and then after that pick up the energy of the sign placement, because the lunar nodes stay in one sign for like 18 months. So it's in the same sign for many people, but the house placement is more specific to you. So look at your house placement first and then the sign placement to get the full picture. Now south node is to do with our comfort zone. It's to do with the zone that's familiar to us, the energy that's familiar to us. We are used to it. It can be your talent, gift, energies from past life or earlier life, basically energy that we have already mastered and we are very successful at. So we tend to stick to that energy because it's comfortable, because it's successful, it's familiar, we know it, so there is no uncertainty attached to it. So we know that energy and we stick to that energy. That's a comfort zone, and it can also lead to stagnancy, stuck in that energy even when it's not serving our soul purpose, the soul growth. There's no growth taking place, but we are stuck to that energy because it works for us, it's familiar to us, it's our comfort zone. Now south node is also to do with your intuition, your instincts and past motivation. So that's where also the south node and energy comes into play. Now north node is all to do with your soul purpose, your karmic path, the unfamiliar territory, the future energy, where we're going, what we need to learn, the karmic path, our need for expansion, the uncertain, unfamiliar zone, which we may hold ourselves back because we are fearful of the uncertainty and the unknown aspect of the north node. But the maximum soul growth is only going to take place when you focus on your north node, the energy attached to the north node, the lesson attached to the north node. So at the end of the day, with the nodes, awareness is crucial to be able to use energy to its best, to its highest purpose. Now if you determination is determination towards your calling is paramount. Only then will you be able to overcome the uncertainty and fear that's attached to pursuing your north node. Now I will discuss the nodal return, the reverse nodal return and the nodal square. So first up is the nodal return. Nodal return is when the nodes, the lunar nodes, the north node and south node return to the same sign and degree at the time of your birth. So whatever your natal position of nodes are, the transiting node returning back to the exact points, That's the point of your nodal return. Now, nodal return occurs at various ages in your lifetime. The first one occurs at the age of 18, then there's one at 37. So every 18 and a half year, there's a nodal return. So there's 18, then 37, then 55, then 74, and so on. So a nodal return is a time when you are effortlessly able to pursue your karmic path, because the transiting north node is conjunct your natal north node. So what happens around this time, you may be pushed to pursue your soul purpose during this time. Even externally, you may feel the physical external push, events externally occurring around you, environment, people, energies in your life will make you pursue that that north node energy, the north node lesson. And also during this time, because the transiting south node is conjunct your natal south node, you will find it much easier to release any stuck energy, or detach yourself from energies that is not working for you, it's not growing you, it's not functioning for you, it's not relevant to your future life, the life where you are heading, the growth that you're heading towards. The south node energy is not relevant. Now, at the end of the day, a balance in both the energies definitely required to, have a more stronger, confident, well-rounded personality. So do not ignore one energy over the other, but more actively pursue the north node. And use your intuition, the energies that you've gathered, the lessons that you've learned, the talents, the gifts, the strength that you have from south node, to convert that energy to pursue whatever you're pursuing, in your north node. Now, during nodal return, the main focus will be on soul growth, on spiritual growth, and whichever house placement it's attached to, that's where the spiritual growth is taking place. So you need to lead from more of a less egoistic space in that house matter. So it's not about material aspect anymore, because nodes are karmic points. It's not to do with material aspect. Now, north node may be to do with pursuing worldly things and physical thing and tangible thing, but the approach needs to be a little bit more spiritual, more centered on growing spiritually rather than having egoistic satisfaction. Material fulfillment is not the focus during this time. The main focus is definitely your spiritual growth. Now, nodal return is also a kind of a time to reassess what you have done until that point in that house matter, wherever the north node is, wherever the nodal return occurs, the house place, the axis. You need to look at what you have done in the last 18 and a half year, and how to reset that cycle, reassess the situation, and also understand and also create awareness in your life, what you have achieved until now in that area, and where you're heading in terms of how much growth still needs to take place. And the approach, the mindset, and all that also needs to be looked at, and create more awareness, live more consciously. Now, approach that house matter in spiritual way, because this nodal return is definitely a major turning point, major shift. It's a time of transformation. So 18 and a half years you have been in a certain way regarding that north node. Now, this is the time to reassess what you have achieved until now, and move forward in terms of what you have gained, the strength that you have gained, the capabilities, the skills, whatever you have gathered. Now is the time to move forward with that energy, and to build up on that energy, to keep pursuing that soul growth, to keep growing, to keep growing, to keep developing, to keep progressing in life. So a nodal return is a kind of a culminating point. The message, the lesson, everything is very clear, and not just with the north node, even the south node. So what you need to pursue and what you need to release, both the angles are totally clear during this time, and it becomes more manageable when things are clear, when you are aware of things, where your life is heading, where you have been, what energies you have accumulated until now, and what you need to release, what you need to learn, where you need to grow. When there's an awareness regarding this, things become a little bit more manageable. Otherwise, it can be a stressful time, because you are releasing things that is comfortable to you. And if you're not aware that your main purpose moving from that point onwards is to pursue your, your north node, your soul purpose, and balancing the nodes at the end of the day, then it can be very stressful experience, because there is a lot of imbalance, uncertainty, blockages attached to the nodal point. And you can experience this during this 18-month period when this lunar node comes to the same sign placement. So you can feel that energy. Now when it hits the exact degree as your natal chart, then it can be like literally the pinnacle of that experience, of that shift. But most definitely you will experience the energy, the shift, the transformation during that 18 months period, because the nodes have got this orb of 15 to 18 degrees. So you start to feel the energy, if not straight away, but pretty early into it, definitely. So so the whole 18 months you will feel that energy. So if you are aware what your chart is all about, and to understand the nodal return, don't just look at your nodes in your birth chart, look at the whole, the entire picture of everything in your chart, your Saturn, your Jupiter, your Sun, Moon, everything, what you have been doing until you need to see the whole experience in a complete holistic way to be able to understand where you need to go, because you can't just look at one point in the chart and make decisions according to that. So it needs to be a well-rounded understanding to be able to pursue that karmic path. So you will experience external and internal events that will literally push you on that north node path during this time. And this shift can take 18 months, and you may actually realize the shift maybe once the nodal return is over. After the 18 months, you probably will realize what the outcome is, what the shift is, because while you're in the middle of it, because it's so overwhelming and so uncertain, imbalanced kind of energy, you may not completely grasp the whole picture. But once it's over and the dust has settled, that's when you see where you are and the transformation that has occurred. So this can feel like a time of surrender, sacrifice, letting go, releasing, in order to accommodate that growth that you want in your life. Now it can mean letting go of past goals, past mindsets, people, possession, career, relationship, money, whatever. So any of these, so wherever your south node is in your chart, you can feel the energy that you are releasing, letting go of that energy to be able to go towards your soul growth. Now it's important to be mindful that if you struggle to let go of your south node aspect, south node energy in your chart, and you hold on to those goals, those relationship, career matters, money matters, anything, possessions, anything that, especially those that does not work for you anymore, you may find the process a little bit more stressful. So it's important to realize that this nodal return is facilitating a kind of a healing process in your life. It's asking you to pursue that north node aspect of your chart, because that's the energy you have not developed at all in this life. You have you have the capability to develop that. You have the raw material within you, the resources within you to pursue on that path, but it hasn't been experienced yet. So that's what you need to do during this nodal return. Realize that, and things will become more clear to take on those energies. And it is a kind of at the end of the day, this transformation is very healing. You will realize it once the period is over. So definitely approach this process, this nodal return, as a healing process, transformative energy, transformative process, shifting, turning point kind of energy, and also a kind of a energy that will lead to growth, progress, and development, personal development. So when you approach this nodal return from this point of view, then you will be able to accommodate the energies a little bit more easily and seamlessly, and it will be less stressful for you going forward. So these 18 months period while the nodal return is occurring in your life, it's a very transformative period. So if you start to follow your north node energy, or understand your north node energy, and create more awareness regarding that north node aspect of life, then life will become a little bit more easier. It will be less stressful at the end of the day, and it will promote the soul growth, this personal development going forward. So while you're in the process, that 18 months period, it can be stressful because any transformation is never easy. But at the end of the day, whether it's negative emotions or positive emotion that comes out of it, at the end of the day, it's for your progress, for your development, for your highest good. Now the reverse nodal return. Now the reverse nodal return occurs when the transiting nodes are opposite your natal nodes. So transit north node is conjunct your natal south node, and transit south node is conjunct your natal north node. Now this reverse nodal return occurs at the ages of 9, 27, 46, 64 and 83. So every 9 years roughly from your nodal returns. So it's a halfway point from your nodal returns, the two nodal returns. It's in the middle, the halfway point. Now a reverse nodal return is a time when you're basically going back to the drawing board. You're going back to the basics. You're rediscovering the energies that you have mastered until now. You're revisiting them, reanalyzing, assessing, reevaluating those energies that you have accumulated until now. The talents, the energy, the strength, all that, you are reassessing them, because the north node, the transit north node, is on your natal south node. So you are reassessing what you have accumulated until now. You're rediscovering the qualities of the south node, the natal south node position. So you're rediscovering that energy. Now go by the house placement first and then the sign placement. So look at your natal south node and see the house attached to it and the energy that you have accumulated, and revisit these qualities, because there is a need to rediscover yourself in this area of life, and to make the qualities and energies attached to the south node, the natal south node, more positive and more progressive during this time. So any energies attached to your natal south node that is stagnant, low frequency, low vibrating energy, that's not good for your growth, that's not good for your progress. This is a time to analyze those energy and to release those energy as well, not to keep it stagnant and stuck. And look at the evolved and awakened side of that south node placement during this time. So wherever the south node is, the house and sign placement, whatever qualities that it represents, look at the higher vibrating qualities of that house and sign, more evolved, more awakened qualities of that house and sign, and release anything that is low frequency, that is not good for your growth, because every house and sign has a positive and the negative aspect. So release the negative aspect of the south node and embrace the positive aspect of the south node, natal south node. Now at the end of the day, it's important to realize that the north node aspect of your chart, of your life, cannot function without the south node aspect. So a balance of this axis is definitely required in order to move on. So pursuing the north node aspect, the energy in your chart, learning the north node aspect in your chart cannot take place until you use the qualities, the skills accumulated through your south node energy. So definitely don't completely ignore your south node, but look at and rediscover the positive aspect, the evolved, the awakened aspect of your south node during this reverse nodal return. Now during the reverse nodal return, you may feel that the old energies, the past habits, past goals, past energies, preferences, your mindset, your outlook, all those things during this reverse nodal return is actually a bit different from how the environment actually is, or the environment you find yourself in, the world, the air, the kind of world you find yourself into it, the environment you find in yourself into it, what is quite different from what your mindset is, what your assumption, how you understand things. It's a bit different from that. So reverse nodal return is also time to rebalance and align yourself with your the growth energy, the progressive energy, and to understand what is going to work going forward and what's not going to work, and what's not going to work needs to be released, and what's going to work needs to be, embraced. So during this reverse nodal return, it's definitely time to assess your past beliefs, past conditioning, all those things, past energies basically, and align yourself with the situation you are in currently, and the situation, the energies that are going to progress you in life going forward, and will set you on that soul path. So if you find yourself in a situation where your old belief system, old ideologies, old mindset has no place in your current situation, it's definitely time to reassess, rediscover the energies, and move forward towards your north node, or towards your soul growth, or the higher vibrating energy of that south node energy, south node house and sign placement. So reverse nodal return can be a confusing time and stressful time as well, because the energies that you're confronted with during this time is actually opposite to what you understand, what your ideologies are, what your how you see your environment, how you see your life. Things are a bit flipped during this time. So suddenly you may feel that everything that you knew until now is not aligned to your growth, is untrue. So you may feel confused and stressed and may not know how to proceed from that point onwards. So this is the best time to take a break, take a step back, reanalyze your life, reanalyze your chart as well, the whole chart, because just looking at the nodal axis is not enough to move forward. You need to understand how the energies in your chart is manifesting and how it's manifesting in your life, because there's so many patterns and energies in your chart, and all of them may not be manifesting in your real life. So you need to see what's manifesting and how it's going and where it's going, and understand the old ways of thinking, the old beliefs and all needs to be relooked at. Need to basically rediscover the south node aspect, what's not working, what's working, and move on from that understanding, from that awareness basically. So the best way forward during a reverse nodal return is to embrace the high vibrating positive qualities of both the nodes, the north node and the south node. And this north node on your natal south node will push you to pursue new territories, new opportunities, will take you out of your comfort zone. So don't shy away from these experiences, because that's where your growth is going to take place, and new ways of thinking, new belief system will be formed when you are ready to expand your mindset, especially things that is not aligned to your future self. So definitely things that are not aligned to where you're going needs to be released, and new energies needs to be embraced, especially the ones that is going to promote your soul growth. So during a reverse nodal return, just be prepared to leave behind energies that you may be very good at, very comfortable with, but is not going to help you grow. It's not good for you going forward. It's not good for your highest good. So definitely this is a time to expand, explore, trust new experiences, new territories, and adjust yourself, accommodate yourself in new ways of doing things during a reverse nodal return. Now the nodal square. Now nodal square occurs when the transiting north node and south node is squaring your natal north node and south node. So for example, if you have natal north node in the sign of Leo, and transiting north node in the sign of Taurus, what's happening is the transiting north node in the sign of Taurus is squaring your natal north node in the sign of Leo. So that's a square. Now nodal square is a time of adjustment and tension, because you're kind of becoming aware of things that you need to do that you may not have a full grasp on or full understanding of. It's uncertain. Now you may be in the middle of doing something completely new, expanding, exploring new thing, or learning new skills, or experiencing new energies, and during this nodal square you may feel a bit uncertain, unsure of yourself, because whatever you are doing, you haven't done that before, so this is the first time you're doing. So there's a need to keep your mind open, learn as much as you can, compromise the areas that does not function anymore, surrender that area, release that area, and as you go along, keep learning new things. And the uncertainty aspect will be there while the square lasts, but you need to keep learning, keep going, and just keep your mind open as well, and just adjust as you go along. So adjustments here and there is definitely required during a nodal square in order to move on, in order to progress, and move on that path. Now it can be a bit stressful, uncomfortable, challenging kind of time, because you need to constantly readjust to new circumstances as you go along, new energies, new people, new whatever, wherever wherever the nodal square, the houses it's occurring in, you do need to constantly keep changing, constantly keep adapting, adjusting to these new energies, because it's a completely new territory and you have not experienced that before. So you are really changing yourself as you go along. And through this process, through this shift, you may feel stressful, because too much adjustment, too much change, no stability can be a bit overwhelming. So you can feel pressured, you can feel tired, worn out during this time. It can be a very challenging and unbalanced time, because whatever efforts you're putting in order to adjust yourself to the new circumstances may not entirely work. So you need to adjust yourself again and realign yourself again. So you may feel constantly imbalanced during this nodal square. So the best way forward during a nodal square is to keep learning new skills, keep adjusting, keep making new connection, the new environment that you're in. Just keep growing, moving forward. Don't stagnate yourself. Don't stuck yourself. Don't resist the changes, because if you resist the changes, it will be more challenging and stressful. So keep going along, keep moving along, and you will reach at the end of the tunnel, sooner or later, while the nodal square is occurring, and after that as well. So this is the best time to learn more about yourself, and the conflicts that arise during this time will reap good outcome going forward, and will grow you and progress you as a person as well. So this was my take on the nodal return, the reverse nodal return, and the nodal square. So you can use the information here to understand your nodal returns, and this is a general reading, a timeless reading, so it can be used anytime going forward. There's no specific time or date when you can use this energy, because each time there's a nodal return or reverse nodal return or a nodal square in your chart, in your life, you can watch this video and understand the energy and make decisions going forward. So thank you very much for watching this video, and have a lovely day.